Here's the famous four-square triangle question that you frequently see on the test. You're presented with 4 triangles. In each triangle, there is a smaller triangle which breaks it down into 4 parts. Each part has a number, and in one small triangle, the number is missing. The first triangle has numbers 3, 2, 11, and number 1 in the middle. The second triangle has numbers 7, 4, 53, and then number 5 in the middle. The third triangle has numbers 11, 6, 127, and number 5 in the middle. And then there is a fourth triangle which has the missing number, but also has numbers 15, 8, and 7. Can you take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer? One tip for you is that you do not need to guess the number, but rather you need to calculate it. And you need to select the calculated number out of 4 different choices. Choice A, 225. Choice B, 232. Choice C, 233. And then last but not least, choice D, 240. Take a close look to see if you can solve this challenge. Are you ready or not? Regardless, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, to solve this challenge, you need to find the pattern. And the pattern is that if you add the middle number and the top number inside the small triangles, then put them into the bottom left corner of the triangle, and then square the bottom left corner number and add the top number. Seems a little complicated, and it is. The best way to understand it is to look at the example. Let's look at the first triangle. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 square equals 9. And 9 plus 2 equals 11. Armed with this information, let's find the missing number. First, let's add 8 plus 7, top and the middle numbers. 8 plus 7 equals 15. And you can confirm this calculation by looking at 15 in the bottom left corner of the triangle. 15 square equals 225. And then based on this information, to find the missing number, we need to add 8, which is the number in the top of the triangle, plus 255, which is the calculated number. So the final number will be 233. Now let me share with you some tips and tricks on how to better solve these types of challenges. You see that the triangles are of a different color, and colors here are only to confuse you. There's no other reasons the colors should be there, so you can completely ignore them. Another trick might be, typically when you look at these types of challenges, you limit your calculations to just adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing numbers. Keep in mind that there's always a possibility of square numbers and then square root of the number. And it's good to remember squares of particular numbers, probably up to 20. This way you can manipulate them in your head without using the calculator. Do you have any other tips and tricks on how to better solve these types of challenges? Please make sure to share in comments so we can all learn. I love sequence questions because this is the best way to challenge your brain to detect the pattern. You're presented with 3 numbers in a sequence where 4th number is missing, and you need to identify the next number. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 159. Choice B, 179. Choice C, 139. And then choice D, 193. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. This is about as much time as you get on the real test. On my end, I'm pretty sure that you've solved it by now, and I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think the pattern here is that the next number is calculated as previous number multiplied by 2 minus 1. The first number in the sequence then is 25. Next number will be calculated as 25 multiplied by 2 minus 1, which would be equal to 49. Number after that will be calculated as 49 multiplied by 2 minus 1. And then the missing number will be calculated as 97 multiplied by 2 minus 1, which would be equal to 194 minus 1, and then the end result of it would be equal to 193. So I believe that the correct choice here is choice D, 193. Do you have a different solution? Please make sure to post your answer in comments. Are you ready to test your skills? Here's the problem for you. In this problem, I'm not going to give you the answer, but instead I'm gonna ask you to post your answer in comments. You're presented with series of unusual shapes, and fourth shape in the sequence is missing. You need to select the missing shape out of 4 different choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. I hope you found it, and once you did, please make sure to post your solution in comments. Thanks for participating, and good luck solving this challenge. Here's an amazing question which tests your analytical skills, logical reasoning skills, as well as your knowledge of employment process. You need to arrange the words into a logical sequence. And the words are phone interview, job search, employment start date, job application, in-person interview, create resume, and last one but not least is an assessment test. You have 4 different choices, choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the answer. What's interesting about this question is that answering it will not just help you to test your skills, but also will help you set expectations about a job search. Let's move forward and get to my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. In the typical job search process, after preparing the resume, job seeker can start searching for the job and apply for the job position. This is called job application process. After an employer determines the match between the position and the resume of the candidate, candidate is called up for the phone interview and then for in-person interview. The next step in the process is an assessment test. If candidate passes job interview and an assessment test, job offer is made and then person starts on the job. So the correct choice here is choice B. Starting with the creation of the resume, then going and doing job search, then applying for the job using job application, then going through the phone interview and in-person interview process, going through the assessment test, and finally starting on the new position. Do you see it differently? Please make sure to post your version of the solution in comments. A lot of you are interested and ask me, how can I help others? One of the ways you can help other people is by sharing the latest questions you see as part of the assessment test. And when you share, please make sure to also include how you answered them. Please share the question you recently encountered in the comment section of this video. And if you know the answers, please share them as well. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Here's an amazing question to test your analytical skills. You need to calculate the missing number. You're presented with triangle, which is split into 3 equal or almost equal parts. At the bottom of the triangles, on each side, you see numbers 8 and 2. In the middle section of the triangles, you see numbers 4 and 6. And on the top of the triangle, you see number 3 on the left, and on the right, you need to calculate the missing number. You're presented with 4 different choices. Choices A, 6, choice B, 10, choice C, 7, and choice D, 2. Do you see the answer? I'm gonna give you a quick hint here. You need not to guess the number, but you need to calculate it. Let's move forward so we can get to the correct solution together. I keep repeating it on this channel, but the fundamentals are solid. You need to always look for patterns in these types of questions. And there are actually 2 patterns here. The first pattern is that each row adds up to 10, and vertically value add up to 15. So for example, if we add 8 plus 2, that would be equal to 10. 4 plus 6 would be equal to 10. And 3 plus the missing number would also be equal to 10. So the correct answer here is choice C, 7. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an unusual question to test your pattern recognition skills as well as spatial reasoning. You are presented with 3x3 matrix which has shapes inside, and you need to find the next 3x3 matrix in the sequence. You're presented with 4 different choices, choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the solution. I would recommend that you spend no more than 15 to 20 seconds thinking about this test. This is about as much time as you get in a real assessment. I'm pretty sure you figured it out, so I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I'm probably not going to surprise you when I say that to solve this challenge, you need to detect the pattern. And each shape here has its own pattern. For example, because we have three different shapes inside 3x3 matrix, we have circle, we have arrow, and we have triangle, we need to look at each individual shape and determine pattern for each individual shape. Let's start with the arrow. Arrow alternates in color, changes from black to white, and also rotates 90 degrees, staying inside the same middle square of the matrix. The tricky part here is that arrow rotates 90 degrees counterclockwise with every step. Now let's look at oval. Oval moves to the next corner counterclockwise. It starts in the upper left corner in the matrix 1, then moves to the lower left corner in the matrix 2, and then moves to the lower right corner in the matrix 3. Triangle alternates the color, changes from black to white, and also moves into the next middle section counterclockwise. If you follow all of these patterns, you will realize that the answer is choice D. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an amazing question to test your spatial reasoning and analytical skills. You're presented with 4 different shapes, and you need to determine which shape doesn't belong to the group. The choices are shape A, shape B, shape C, and shape D. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. My guess is, if you're a viewer on this channel or a subscriber on this channel, these types of problems should be very easy for you. So I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. But obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to share in comments. A lot of people complain here that I always say one simple thing: find the pattern and use it to solve the challenge. This is very true for this type of challenge as well. If you look closely, you see that there are multiple patterns present here. The first pattern is that there is a large black shape which is surrounded by the square and pentagon. Both square and pentagon are of a different but the same color on all the objects. So the first pattern here is that the black shape increases the number of sides from 5 pentagon to 6 hexagon to 7 heptagon in objects A, B, and C. So if we continue this pattern, we should see the next shape in the shape D to have 8 sides, which it does not. So we're already immediately getting the clue that the shape D might be different. Let's look at other shapes. If you look closely at the square, you see that the square jumps in object A from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock and then jumps to 4 o'clock. So it is possible that square incrementally goes around the clock counterclockwise and increments corner by 1. You can also see that rectangle alternates between medium and large sizes when it moves counterclockwise from the corners. If you look closely, you also will see that the blue pentagon moves half of the position clockwise. It moves from object A 4 o'clock position to objects B 6 o'clock position and then to object C 8 o'clock position, which means that the pattern holds for objects A, B, and C, and object D is out of pattern and does not belong to the group. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an unusual question, but we're starting to see it on the test more and more often. You need to select 3 numbers, which add up to 52, and there are 8 choices to select 3 numbers. You have numbers 7, 24, 33, 5, 9, 11, 17, and number 12 presented for selection. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. See if you can pause this video to get to the correct solution. I am pretty sure you figured it out, but just in case, I am moving forward to get you to the correct answer. As you might have guessed, the correct numbers are 7, 33, and 12, because 7 plus 33 plus 12 equals 52. Keep in mind that this may not be the only solution. A lot of times, in questions like this, there are other options available. Do you see any other set of numbers that lead to the required result? If you found another possibility, please make sure to post in comments. A lot of you are interested and ask me, how can I help others? One of the ways you can help other people is by sharing the latest questions you see as part of the assessment test. And when you share, please make sure to also include how you answered them. Please share the question you recently encountered in the comment section of this video. And if you know the answers, please share them as well. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. I hope you will be as amazed as I am when looking at this question. You're presented with 3 sets of diamonds. Each set contains numbers outside of the diamonds as well as inside the diamonds. Let's look at the first diamond. It has numbers 2, 4, 16, 22, and then there is a number in the middle, 44. The second set of diamonds contains numbers 3, 9, 81, 93, and 186 inside. And then the last set of diamonds has 2 numbers visible, which are 5 and 25, and 3 numbers missing. You need to select the missing 3 numbers out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 495, 720, and 970. Choice B, 625, 655, and then 1310. Choice C, 780, 935, and 1935. And then the last but not least is choice D with 545, 610, and then 1000. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the solution. Typically you get between 20 and 30 seconds on the real test, so feel free to pause this video if you need more time. But on my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you see a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Nothing new here with this question, and my advice to you as usual, always look for patterns. Let's look at the patterns here. If we number the corners of the diamonds as well as the middle with the letters of the English alphabet A, B, C, D, and E, we can build a pattern. And the pattern will be B is calculated as A multiplied by A, basically A squared. C is calculated as B multiplied by B. D is calculated as A plus B plus C. And then E is calculated as C multiplied by 2. Let's look at the example. If we look at the first set of diamonds, the number at the bottom of the diamond is 2. The number on the left is calculated as 2 multiplied by 2, which equals 4. The number on the upper side of the diamond is calculated as 4 multiplied by 4 and equals 16. Then the number on the right is calculated as 16 plus 4 plus 2 and equals 22. And then the number in the middle of the diamonds is calculated as 22 multiplied by 2 and equals 44. If you follow this logic and do this calculation, you will come up with the choice B. And choice B is represented by the numbers 625, 655, and 1310. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Thanks for watching. If you liked the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for all your endorsement, support, and patronage. For additional helpful information, please make sure to check out links in the description. For detailed list of available resources, I encourage you to check out resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net/resources. If you know someone who would benefit from this content, please consider sharing the link. Please leave the feedback, corrections, or suggestions in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.